Yeah, something is going to happen. The minute it goes live, I forgot to switch off. 1 second. Give me a minute. You know, I'll tell you, I don't want to say it. I've said it 100 times here online. It's going to echo right now. It's going to go in. Okay. I think we're all set up. Yeah. We are set up and we are live in what is happening to this movement, which I just one fine day got up and I said, I'll fight 100 moms. And now the stories are pouring in because I always knew that there is so much that we don't know and we've not met. And this platform is only becoming more and more powerful to meeting more and more powerful mothers so that motherhood can be honored formally. And from there on, we can move forward to ripple it out to the next generation and take it from there. We all are meeting in India. A lot of stuff is happening. Very soon, campaigns and everything is going to pan out. But till then, maybe for our next issue, maybe for something else, we are still meeting moms and we are still interviewing them. Welcome, Vimla. What can I say about her? I don't want to because I always say moms who live their stories tell their story best. But when I had a brief talk with her for 40 minutes, it's not me. You can see how much I can talk. So at least I spoke for the first time to her for 40 minutes. I learned so much and about her, about how life is lived and about how you make impact and how bold steps take you to where you are. So Vimla, very, 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 very proud to know you. And it's an honor to bring this interview. And I'm sure this will pan out in many, many ways. If not today, these interviews are going to become all in archives in our YouTube channel, which is slowly growing up. And soon everybody will start hearing this. So let's introduce yourself, Vimla.
Yes.
The stage is all yours.
Yeah. First of all, thank you so much, Shika, for the opportunity to work with you. This is fantastic. And I think that what you're doing is amazing. So thank you for honoring moms in the way you are. I think it's absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
And a little bit about me. Let's see, India, US, India, born in India, left when I was about 3 years old. My family migrated to the US. So I've done all my education and higher, my primary, secondary, higher secondary, college, and my PhD in the US. I am an American citizen and have been, went through a very, very difficult transition when I went from academia to corporate. I went from working, like my lovely 14, 15-hour days to 8-hour days and started questioning, what's life about? What's my purpose in life? Why am I even on this planet? And, in your 20s, everything has to be answered like this. And I was fortunate enough that I had the Ramakrishna Mission and Vivekananda Monastery in Michigan, where I had been raised through that system. And I reached out to them and I said, Swami, I'm really, really struggling. He said, come. And so I went for a week, took a week off of work and went and really dug deep. And he said, I cannot tell you these answers. This is something that you have to find for yourself. So I went out in the woods and stayed and prayed and meditated and did anything I could to find the answer. And small little voice came to me, says, work with children. And at that time, Shika, I was not working with children at all. I was working with adults and in research and in drug information. And this was not my life. And I'm like, what? Okay. I said, okay, let's see what happens. And as soon as I went back home, I got a call from a hospital called Shriners Hospital. It's one of the most amazing systems in America, where they do free orthopedic surgery for anybody around the world. And as soon as I got back, a little girl came from India. And this little girl was my reintroduction to India. And I stayed with her throughout her hospital stay, got her well with the help of the doctors in the system. And she was part of an organization. And I went back I came to India as her medical escort.
Wow.
And just came to India. I was, late 20s and just fell in love with the children in India. And said, this is where my heart is. I found my heart. I found my passion, found my purpose. and stayed with this organization for 3 years as a volunteer. And then as life happens, I had to return to the US to take care of my mom. And it was heartbreaking to leave the children, but I also knew there was something else. And one of the girls who actually became one of my dearest daughters, Marima, she said, you know, Akka, don't do what they're doing. I said, why? I said, it works. They have, 60 children. They're doing so much work. She said, no, we need a home. And I said, tell me, what do you mean by home? She said, where you're the mom, you be here. Don't hire people to come and take care of us. You be here. You take care of us. You raise the children and you be the mom. And I was moved by what she said, touched by what she said. So I started my own organization. At that time in the US, it's called Nivedita Center for Learning. And it was, the name was given to me by my Swami. And he said, Swami Vivekananda, who was an Indian Swami, gave Sister Nivedita her name as a Western, officiate, a Western disciple. And he said, I'm a Western person giving you back your heritage. So I give you the name Nivedita. And the organization blossomed. And in 2000, I moved to India. So that's my India, US, India. And in 2000, I started a home and it's been going strong till 2019. I raised 15 children. My youngest is, I know you roll your eyes. It's easier as the numbers go higher, believe it or not. And I'll tell you more about that.
No, I'm not rolling my eyes. I am in awe of you. I'm just in awe of the story. I've heard it. You know what I was just doing? Everybody saw me. I was just trying to do that. I was trying to bring more people from, there's a computer on, there's a phone on, there's whatever it takes me. I'm like plugging this in out so that people can come and just listen to what you're doing. So you're incredible.
Thank you so much.
Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead.
Well, I always say that once you figure out who you want to be, what you do and what you have just comes like this. Soon as I chose that I wanted to be a mom, I wanted to take care of these children, and I put it out there that this is who I am. This is what I'm willing to give to the universe. Things fell in. Things just kind of, literally, I mean, while I was going through it, it wasn't fast enough and I was edgy and I was like frustrated. But when I look back, and that was 22 years ago, I think, it just kind of fell into place. I had the right people at the right time. And one of the things that I'm very snarky. And I said, okay, if God wants me to do this, let her give me free property. The audacity of me, right?
I love this story so much. People must hear this.
And as it happened, one of my best friends, Mr. Prasad, was looking, and I said, look, get free property. I don't want to use the money we fundraise. I want to use that for the children's education. And he said, okay, let's go look. And he found an obscure Lions Club in Chennai that had a medical center they weren't using. And he found one of the Lions Club, senior Lions Club member, to say, okay, give it to this girl. You'll meet her. You'll learn to love her. And I said, okay. And at that time, we didn't have any of the kind of communication, like you were saying, no cell phones, no Zoom, nothing. We had Skype that barely worked. And he still trusted. And when I met him, I just fell at his feet and said, thank you. He gave me 10 years. I stayed on the property of Lions Club. It was just brilliant. It gave me the breadth and the width that I could use to raise the children and use funding for their education. And the intention was, through education, girls get free. Girls who are disadvantaged either through academics, because they're the girl, they don't get to go to school. They are disadvantaged through a different ability because they had polio, they couldn't go to school, or they were disadvantaged just because their moms didn't understand the value of education. This was back in 1999, 2000. And slowly to bring them in, put them into English medium school, which was a big thing, getting them to, through that era of studies. We were a well-oiled machine. As I said, it's easier as the numbers go up. When you have just one, it's hard to get them into that pattern. And I will tell you, once you get a rhythm with your children, come home, have a snack, play, come back, do your studies, eat dinner, go to bed, and have a bed routine. It makes life so much easier for them and for you. And that's what I started doing. At one point I had 8 kids, and it was like a well-oiled machine. And it was so easy then. I didn't have to think, I didn't have to make decisions.
Okay, I want anybody who's going to watch it, and I just love the fact that you're saying it. It's easy. It's easier. Just plug these things in. Just plug it in, and it's easier. But that wisdom, that patience, that unlearning, and then learning, and then again unlearning, and then putting it in place, and then testing. That takes a lot of grit and perseverance, and all kinds
love.
of
It takes
love,
love, Shika, more than anything.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
I will share, and this is something that I've shared in many platforms. It's what we call in our family the fruit salad moment. At this point, I had about 10 children and a baby in the house, all at one time, 3 dogs. And we were going to have Ganesha Puja. So I woke up super early, 5 o'clock, started working, got, all the preparations for the puja. And I had all the puja items on the table. And slowly, one of my kids, each one started waking up and helping. I said, please go take a bath, then come, don't touch anything on the puja. And I had my younger children now wake up, and they were in a very rambunctious, energetic space. And they were talking and they were fighting. And I said, guys, eat in the kitchen. I'm in the dining room. Eat in the kitchen. Don't bring that here. I really want to keep this space separate. They weren't really paying attention to me. And I was saying it once, twice, 3 times. And at that moment, we were all, me and my older girls, there were about 5 of us, we were cutting fruit for the Panchamritam. And we were cutting little things, and we were all putting it into the bowl. And my kids were walking around, one with toast, one with idli, no plates, nothing. And I lost it. I blew up, and I took the entire bowl of fruits. And I said, you guys want to live like heathens? You don't want to use plates? Boom, on the table. None of us will use plates today. We'll eat on the table. And the kids just kind of didn't know what to do. Nobody moved. And I just said, I'm done. And I went upstairs into my room, closed the door, and just did one of these. And for some reason, I just started laughing. I'm like, what have I done? And fortunately, this was around 2011, 2012. I called my sister and I said, I know it's the middle of the night. I'm so sorry. She's in the US. And I said, this is what I did. I'm such an idiot. Why do I let myself lose my temper? What are the triggers? What's so big? What was this? And she gave me the best advice she could ever give me. She said, you are human first. You get to lose your temper. You are allowed to have no patience. You are allowed to scream. You are allowed to show your anger, and it's okay. They still love you. And if I hadn't heard that in the moment, I don't know what I would have done, but I heard that and I just felt so much compassion.
Yep.
And I'm going to tell all you mothers out there that feel, oh, I lost it and I yelled at my child and I told them they were useless, or I said that they could never do this. And I said, how many times have we told our children, enough, stop? And we feel so bad and we lose our tempers. I'm going to tell all you wonderful mothers out there, it's okay.
When you're talking, what happens is, this is a very beautiful story out, because I keep getting, when I was doing the project, and we have bonus moms, as I mentioned in the book, and they asked me, can we be, we're not biological moms, can we be part of your project? So I was like, you're a mom.
Yeah.
There are moms who've adopted kids and you're on another level of adopting kids, having 5 grandchildren, having 5 cats and 2 dogs.
Yep.
Am I right? Yeah.
Right now, yeah.
So, if you're not I told you at that time, if you're not a mom who is, well, what's the beautiful part about it is that what I'm hearing, I'm really not hearing a person who's done any favors or anything or any show, like trying to say that, oh, I can adopt so many kids and I'm making an impact. You're absolutely talking like a mom, like her daily struggle, because you have embraced them as yours, and you have, like in your being, they're yours, they're your kids, and it's okay if they come in the live also, that's all right, because my kids keep coming in the live, so don't worry about it. Yeah, I'm just taking that pressure off you.
Yeah,
so
they'll show up eventually.
yeah. Mine will also. So it's all dinner time coming. But what a beautiful message that, yes, we have stories, but you've embraced them. And then your struggle is like any other mom who's given birth to their kids. And your suggestions are like any other moms who give other moms about, it's all right. And if you lose it, and, the guilt is the most precious gift any mom has been gifted, I think.
Oh,
just abundance,
yes.
that just within seconds, we start feeling guilty. We start feeling, oh my God, the world is crumbling. How could I do this? Look at their little hearts. Look at their tears.
Yeah.
And,
I've ruined them.
yeah, I just did the worst thing I could. And just this morning, my little one was he's been throwing his metal cars on his older brother. And then just out of fun, like he's 3.
But it
he
hurts.
finds it very, yeah, he finds it very funny. And I just keep telling him that it's not funny because it's hurting your brother. But my older one is very dramatic in his everything. So he thinks he's laughing. And just this morning he threw one, it didn't hit me. And I just wanted to say that, am I just getting very, very hyper about the fact that he's not getting on the right track? Look at him growing up like this at the age of 3. And I just pretended to cry, and I started I put my head down, I started howling loudly, and I started saying, and I was like, 10 seconds are gone, he's not come. Oh God, all of my raising is gone. He's proving it that he's getting into this direction. 15 seconds gone, 20 seconds. It looked like I'll have to keep crying like this till the time he doesn't come up. And then I heard from him. So I'm like, I said, Shika, okay, he's getting there. Let me see what he reacts like. And then he comes, he's like, all right, it'll never happen again. Don't worry. And this is little hands come on me, and they're just like, don't, and he's not even 3. And then he said, don't worry. I just hugged him and I'm like, are you sure you're never going to do that again? He's like, I don't know, but I'm not doing it again to you. So I was just like, I think that's okay. I mean, everybody will have to
What a great answer. I love him.
Yeah.
I just adore him already.
Yeah. So it's a life force that they have. And at that time, telling you just 30 seconds, I was feeling guilty. I was like, God, he's not moving towards me. And for sure, I have not taken the right things. I better get my books right. I better get my training right. Something is going on. Just in that 30 seconds, so much chatter. So I love how you just said that these are real moments for us. And in those moments, we crumble 100 times and we get up again. And we just like, oh, and then everything just goes normal. And then a new moment comes. So with you 50 kids,
yeah,
another level.
All stages, all ages, all sizes, all shapes, and boys and girls. But I will tell you something that may they'll get you off the hook.
Yeah.
You wanted your child to show empathy to you. Yeah. Children don't have the capacity to have empathy until they're about 7, 8. Boys 7, 8, maybe 9, 10. Girls 7, 8. Their brain isn't wired that way yet. All you could say, they don't understand it. They don't get it because they actually do not have the frontal cortex fully developed.
Right.
And so you can do all you want, all the drama. They're like, yeah, okay, fine. I don't get it because they can't.
Yeah.
They physically, emotionally, physiologically don't have it yet. Now, a 10-year-old doing that, yeah, you could say you might be able to understand it. But even then you could say, hey, what is this for you? But I get it. but you can say, hey, he doesn't have it. It's not mine. It's him. He just, you'll get it when he gets it. But exactly. So, I mean,
Different levels.
understanding that, bringing that awareness to parenting. Where
Yeah.
is my child? What will work? What won't work? Really helped me tremendously. And there were some books that I hid in my bathroom that I would pull out and read. It's okay, what am I going to say now? And one book I'd say was my Bible, Quran, Gita. It's called How to Talk to Kids So Kids Could Listen, So Kids Will Listen.
Yeah.
How to Listen So Kids Will Talk,
Yeah.
by Adele Faber, one of my favorite people in the world. She gives very, very practical tips, and she gives you the language. You can convert it to any language, it'll work. But her basic thing comes from, as a parent, have empathy for yourself first and then for your children, and come at it from a space of trying to understand, then be understood. As a parent, you will never be understood.
Yeah.
Just know it up front. So to try to understand where they're at. And her teacher, Hayam Ganat, was one of my friend's professors.
Wow.
And Hayam Ganat is amazing child psychologist, so much love for children. And his contribution to the world, and especially to me, was using language that mattered.
Yeah.
That book stayed in my bathroom, because if I needed to escape and I'm upset, I'm losing it, I can't figure it out, I would run to the bathroom and say, okay, I'll be right back. And I would read. The other book that really helped me was Jane Nelson, Positive Discipline. I recommend all parents read that book. She, again, is an amazing, amazing parent herself. And the book is based on Adlerian theory, so it's a little different from Hayam Ganat, but still it embraces that sense of being kind and firm. Those of you who guys love Sound of Music, that was her promise in one of her songs. I have confidence. I will be firm and kind. And that's the thing, that's the balance that parents need.
Absolutely. And, I wanted to, now you also are a coach. Like after this, I think you were here as a incredible mom of 15 kids and pets, and just in the morning somebody said, will a pet mom do for your book? And I'm like, mom is a mom. It's not something that is they're birthing, then you become a mom. It's
right,
just a feeling that
it's a mindset.
Yeah. And from there, you went on, and I just see all this incredible, you're an LNP coach, just let's talk about what led you to want to take this. Was it just curiosity, that because our children also keep us curious, and then you have to keep, if you're a curious cat, then the whole thing is you just keep opening books to know how to solve this. I'm like that. Horribly in my studies, honestly, but I'm very curious, and that's brought me here today, the curiosity. So how did you get into wanting to be an NLP coach and get it from there, and then
that's another story. So actually what happened was I was working, we had a lot of financial strains, let's put it that way. I'll be very raw with you. We were like really in poverty, deep into poverty. I had to break pencils and have kids share pencils for the week because couldn't afford much. This was post 9/11, post the Parliament bombing, 2008 recession. I mean, everything that could happen happened. So we went through this dark phase, and I had to go back to work. So I went back to what I know in clinical research. I realized why I left it in the first place. And it really just sucked my energy and my soul from me. And I lasted 4 years, from 2006 to 2010, and I had to get out. At the same time, a friend of mine who was doing leadership training and was also starting her coaching journey, Vicki Nicholson, she just said, Vimla, I'm looking for somebody. Would you be interested? Come on as a consultant. And I said, sure. I said, whatever work you can throw my way is great. She said, but I need you to be a certified coach, join the program that I'm in. And in 2010, I jumped in, not really knowing what it was. but it changed my world. It changed how I parented. It changed how I coached. I mean, it taught me how to coach, and it changed how I trained. And I absolutely love this space. And it was so aligned to how I wanted to be with my children. So I wasn't in disconnect. Like the pharmaceutical industry was completely disconnected. I did that, then I did this. This was, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. So it became a very beautiful synergy. Although my children will tell you and tell me quite often, please don't coach me. Oh, mom's going to coach you. And they'll roll their eyes. Mom's going to coach you. Or they'll say, look, be a normal mom. I'm having this problem. Don't coach me. Don't ask me how I feel. I said, okay, but how do you feel?
It doesn't only happen to coach mom, it happens to all mom. I'm a photographer. Like, you're just like, we know what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Don't get that moment with us. We exactly know how to do it. And I was called as a guest lecturer in my son's class just 3 days back. And very proudly, he's like, yeah, my mom is coming, etc. All overconfident, standing there and raising hands with every question. I know the answer, and all answers were wrong. And I'm just standing there. And I'm just like, no, it's not what you're saying. And he's like, of course, she's my mom, I know it. And he's standing there and listening to nothing that I tell him at home. And I'm smiling. I'm like, yeah, exactly why I keep telling you at home. This is what it is. It's not because I'm a photographer, but it's just that because I want to teach you. And he's taken photography in school.
Oh.
And then, I was just, so what you're just saying about this rolling of eyes of our children, it happens to all kinds of moms. I've heard this story so many times. To a comedian mom, can you be serious sometimes?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a comedian mom in the book, and her daughters, so she has a habit of joking every second with them and all the time. Beautiful relationship with her daughters. And they're just like, be serious. Why you this comedy here? So
Yeah.
all the kinds of moms it is. But
yeah,
it's okay. You can tell them I'm on live and I'll talk to you.
It's just a cat has got on the stove and now this one's all upset and hey, there shouldn't be a cat on the stove, but it's all right. They'll take care of it.
Forget the cat. That's okay.
No, they've got it. They've got it taken care of. This is raw moments of home life with children. And right now in my home, I have 3 kids living with me, 2 adults and 1 11-year-old who really wants to be on camera.
Hello.
Hi.
You can introduce him as well.
Yeah, this is Siddhartha. We call him Sidhu. And he's soon going to be 11 years old.
Wow. When's your birthday, Sidhu?
October 23rd.
October. So you are a Scorpion kid.
Yes.
Awesome.
And I'm a Sagittarius, so you can imagine.
Yeah. But Sidhu, I can see that you love the camera and you like to be in front of the camera. So maybe one day we can interview you and get you in the Mom Vibes episode and talk to you about what you like, because I can already see that you like being in front of the camera, right?
Absolutely.
So what's your favorite thing to do, Sidhu? What's the favorite thing to do?
Play video games with my BFFs.
Oh, thanks. Don't say that. My son has the same thing. If he was sitting right next to me here, he would be saying the same thing.
Yep.
Video
games, shorts on YouTube.
Mainly video games.
Yeah, same. I think my son is 9, turning 10, so same age.
Yep.
Yeah. You can meet him maybe after the interview. Maybe I can call him and
Absolutely.
You can talk. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to.
Yeah. Is your cat safe now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, go finish dinner.
Yeah. Bye. Bye, Sidhu. Nice meeting you.
Thank
This is all
you.
love.
Bye. Nice meeting you too.
Yes, look at the love and this. So, there's so much to talk to you about. Before we wrap up, because I like to keep the interviews short, we must, we must talk about the fact that you feel that manifestation is a very easy thing. Like you wanted to work with children, a child came in, you wanted a house. Like, let's talk about these 3 incidences that I've spoken, like I've heard, and maybe 2, 3 more you can say that in your life, you asked for it and it just appeared in a very short span. And then we can wrap it up and not make it a long interview, because people then see the timeline and they don't want to repeat. I really want them to see and meet
Absolutely.
You and
So
bring you back.
yeah. So I have done a lot of work on affirmations and working with Louise Hay, Wayne Dyer, who are the pioneers of all of what we consider today the secret. And
Right.
and I'll tell you, it's really not about asking and it's given. In a way, yeah, in a very, very big picture it is. But it's a lot of what I know now through NLP is it's embodiment of your senses of what you really want to have in your life. You have to see it, feel it, taste it, smell it, experience it as a visualization every day, every single day until it shows up. You know, a lot of people say, oh, I'm going to put $1 million note on there and then I'm going to forget about it. It doesn't work that way. You have to see that, feel that $1 million coming to you. You have to know everything, and you have to work and take action. And when I said I knew in my heart that I was going to have children, and I had said 15, and I
Really?
stopped at 15. I stopped at 15.
15?
Yeah.
You said 15?
I said 15. Actually, I have written it down in my original, very, very first mission statement of 15 kids. I said, that's one person can only, in my mind, that's a good number to handle, but I never had 15 in one shot. I
Right.
had kids graduating and leaving and getting married, and kids came in and out constantly. The maximum I ever had were 11, and that was tough. Those were tough days. But the manifestation, I always tell people, is say it, see it, hear it, feel it, and then let it go. And that acceptance that it'll come when it's supposed to come, letting it go, is probably the biggest challenge.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one quick story. It's my tragic love story. I'll tell you, it's the story when I was 45. Before that, I was not married, single mom of 11 children, right? So I decided at 45, while I was in Walt Disney World, on the ferry towards the Cinderella house, that I'm going to start dating. I want to have love, and I want to have romantic love in my life. My sister, who's next to me, is just like, okay, sure. I don't think that I have a very good bio for, putting it out there saying, single female with 11 children doesn't really vibe with a lot of men. So I never went that route. I just said, you know what, I'm going to say it, I'm going to see it, I'm going to write it. And every day I would write in my journal, I have the most perfect husband in my life. My husband loves me and will always cherish me. And I just kept writing these random thoughts, did a lot of work on myself. I started working and started being the kind of person who I would want my husband to be. I gave myself gifts because I would think that a husband should give a wife gifts. So I think I'm going to gift myself. For 6 months, I gave myself a gift every month just because I loved myself. And I brought all that energy in. And I was doing a program. I was in my training days, and I was wearing heels. And as soon as I came into my training room, I would take off my heels. One of the participants noticed and said, why are you taking your heels off? I said, lower back pain. I got to go back to the US and it'll get fixed. And she's like, well, I know a chiropractor and he can just snap your back. And I said, yeah, I don't want anybody in India because you don't have chiropractic in India. They're like, no, he's an American. And I said, oh, give me his name. And I went around and I finally, after about 2-3 weeks, I finally called and I said, yeah, I'd love to meet you. I've got this lower back pain that's really tough. And he said, yeah, come on, and he gave me his coordinates, and my auto driver could not find his place. Finally, we got to his place after several phone calls, and he's up on the veranda on the first floor. And he looks down, he said, are you looking for me? And I just rolled my eyes. I said, that is such a loaded question. If he only knew the space I was in, maybe I am. And I looked up and I said, yeah, I am. Are you Jack Stowe? And he said, yep. And I said, all right, I'm coming up, Dr. Stowe. And he fixed my back. And then my kids came and got some treatments from him, chiropractic treatments from him. And then we just started saying, hey, would you like to go here? Would you like to go there? And every time I went into Bangor, I would meet him. And then he left for the US. And we started courting online. And one fine day, I just swallowed my pride and said, hey, are you dating anybody? He said, no. And I said, would you consider dating me? And he said, sure, why not? And we had been together ever since that moment. It was like constant. And we dated for 1.5 years. And I got married to him, a wedding here, a wedding in the US with his family and my family there. And it was a match made in heaven. Here are the three things that I knew that he was the right person. We both come from Chicago. We both have an extremely dry sense of humor. And we both took in kids. He had a little girl that he took in, and I had my kids. And we loved that about each other. And it was just this amazing melding of these hearts and stories that needed to come together. We were from Chicago. We met in Bangalore. And we got married. And unfortunately, a year and a half after we got married, he ended up having a hemorrhagic stroke and passing away. But my story with him was unconditional love. I could never have experienced that without him. And he experienced it through me. We served him for 4 months in the hospital while he was in a coma. My children and I, we grew leaps and bounds, energy, courage, trust, faith, all of that came into being. And then my NLP coaching journey started. And I needed to retell my story in my head. I didn't have to blame, shame, and ridiculously say, this was why, how could this be? I went from that to anger and distraught to love and kindness. And I live from that space now.
Beautiful.
So that's
And
me.
I know it's tragic, but you also said that he taught your kids how to love.
Yes.
And you're all about love. And, it's sad that I don't know what I'm going to do with your story, but your story is very important. It's very important to hear. And it's a good beginning, because people like you need to walk forward and tell your stories.
Yes.
And I am not only on a mission to spread stories to inspire, but I also feel that stories go beyond one generation. It can be heard. If it becomes famous, then it can be heard and inspire generations ahead. And that's why 100 stories are coming together in the book. And I would definitely invite you to be one of the speakers there and meet the moms who are coming. Maybe.
Absolutely.
I don't know the second book is ever coming or not, because I don't want to commit. The first book is
right.
completed. But to have you as a guest, a mom of 15 kids, 5 cats, 4 cats,
You
3
saw
cats,
one walking in the back.
2 dogs, who knows how to manifest, who knows how to love, trust, ask. You also know how to ask. You also know how to surrender. You also know, how to open your arms. And just so honored to know somebody with so much love. And then, of course, you've done your trainings with NLP. And I just met your work,
Yes.
Sidhu is your work. And
Yes.
I've just met him coming in, saying hi to us. Incredible. I just have no words. And we'll definitely take it ahead. I know I can talk to you for hours, but we're already 40 minutes. But I think Lucy's joining us live. There are 3-4 more people who joined us. Whoever joined us, just hear a very short version of Vimla's story, of how she got. Okay, this is what it is, because there are some more people here. She got her message from the forest. She goes ahead, decides to have 15 kids in her life that she will serve and adopt. And then she goes ahead and asks for a home. And she keeps finding this as well. And from there, she finds love of her life. And then her love for life brings more love to the kids, and the kids learn how to love. And here she is with grandchildren, cats, dogs. It's just a beginning, I think. Vimla is just starting. She's just starting right now. So Vimla, before we leave, what is that one message? If you give me one line that you would like a mom to embrace, because you're an NLP coach, you're a mom of 15 kids. What is that one thing you would like to tell a mom that she definitely must reach out to this when things are not going very well?
I would say the number one tool that I wish I had as a younger mom is self-compassion.
Yeah.
Anytime you feel like you've lost it or you can't go on anymore, especially those moms who have teenagers, God bless you people. Just have self-compassion. Know that you are love. And that is the only thing that's going to get you through this. And just take care of yourself. Because once you take care of yourself, that is the biggest gift you can teach your children, because they'll take care of themselves.
Yeah, yeah. I want to meet you in person, Vimla.
Absolutely.
The Moms United is happening. Lots of news will be there. But, we have bonus moms. Lucy's joined in. She's one of our bonus moms, and I will be tagging more people. We have also other moms joining in. I can't see, it's not loading yet, but yeah, we have Sarah. Sarah, I hope you're feeling better. Sarah, all these moms, and Vilma is here. All these moms have so incredible stories, always move me. And yet again today, by meeting you, I just know there's no other way but to bring these stories out.
Absolutely.
So that this whole cloud over motherhood just starts to rise, and just starts to become clearer, and the sky that you're not alone.
Yeah.
Moms are going through what they are, but they are impacting, and these stories will become a very solid chain for the next generation to follow and keep coming forward. And that's what I'm doing. Just a little dent. Say that let's just break this whole thing.
That's all we can do. One
Yeah.
small step, and we can touch so many lives.
One small step with 100 dents, like 100 moms to begin with, is going to just break the wall for sure when we all meet.
Absolutely.
So everybody just puts one small dent, and the wall that's breaking, that's stopping moms from dreaming, that's stopping the next generation to feel positive, it's gone. So the first 100 dents are coming in November, and further by then, I don't know how many more mothers will join us to make more dents. It's going. This wall is, it's done. The wall is going to get diluted very fast about any illusions about what the role of a mother in life is, and what can she do, and what all will happen when the destiny is in the hand of mothers. So love you guys who joining in. I can see some people watching, but I just can't load, as I have 3 devices on, thinking that they will be loading. I'll be commenting, but I will comment back. I would love Vimla to comment back as well.
Absolutely.
And see you soon, Vimla. Lots of love, and I shall see you soon and bring you to Mom's gathering.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for this opportunity, Shika. I love you. And I wish all the moms out there all the best.
Yes, we have the last leg to make it happen, and it's happening. Moms are coming together in India. Yeah, and from India and in India. So I must say that about, there are about 47 or 48 moms from India as well. So we're already a powerhouse in India, standing here to welcome more moms to join us in our country and make this happen. So lots of love. I'm just going to stop sharing the live. Everybody else, lots of love. I don't know when I can comment, but I will look at your comments. And thank you for always coming in and just saying hello to us.